apparent suicidal like scenery or thought of or notion of, is somebody thinking of committing suicide? Did they commit suicide? And that that caters to a reality because suicide is a real life reality driven thing. So to see it in a movie, it's real. It's real. Not well. I ain't gonna say tempting. It's real. It's a real reality driven thing. A lot of people actually take their own lives because the pressure of living in this crazy, sad, fucked up world, and the stress of living in this world, it tempts people to do that act. So I thought that was very enlightening and very insightful. Seeing kick off the movie. Is it as good as Quaker Mass, the original? I'd say it was on par with the original Quaker Mass. Just throughout this whole movie and the literature, the art, the creativity, the story, the actors, chemistry, just everything about it was on point to a high degree, to a high measure. I very much enjoyed Quaker Mass 2 from 1967. If you guys haven't seen my review and my vivid thoughts of the movie, go on the channel and check it out. I gave my opinion very vividly and honest to the best degree possible. That's all I ever try to do is keep shit real and authentic because that's the only thing I know for real. But yeah, Quaker Mass 2, the characters, the cast, chemistry, the story arc, just the whole embodiment of what it represents, the ghosts, the creatures are just as good looking, just as amazing as they were in the predecessor, the first movie. Absolutely, just as good, for sure. Tell me when I'm telling lies. If you haven't seen the first Quaker Mass, go ahead and watch it. And then, watch the second one and compare those. They go neck and neck from anything that I like about the first movie to the second movie. It all meets parallels. It all is very similar in so many ways. Yeah, some of the actors have been replaced for new cast members, but that's because one of the cast members who played in the movie passed away. So of course they had to find another cast member to replace that cast member who passed away. That's obvious. But the actor who played the original character of the original actor who played the character did just as good, you know. I'd say both casts from both movies did immensely great, quite honestly. Tit for tat, basically. Quaker Mass, too. What else happened? There was really no romantic scenes, no sex scenes. Because I know how I feel about that stuff being placed in a movie. If it's innocent enough, like if it's an older couple, I don't care. But if it's like randomly plastered in the movie at any God given time, I'm not gonna enjoy it at all. If it leads into a killing, a murder, or any of that sort, it's more like it makes more sense basically for it to be in there. But overall, just randomly placed in the movie, I'm not a fan of that. There's apps, there's sites you can go if you want that type of shit, you know. But yeah, Quaker Mass. was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Let me get the trailer up so I can break it down that way. Discussing. They're coming off of something, computer, looking at something, examining something, observing something, looking over something. That whole aspect, that whole point, and that whole scene in the movie is fantastic. I give that a 10 for sure. Absolutely. Down with the hunters, basically, they had from the airplane, there were hunters coming down from the air, basically, which I already discussed that. A wall with his blood smearing. So it kind of sets the tone of the movie and the notion of the movie off rip being gory, a lot more gory than the predecessor, the very first Quaker Mass movie. I very much enjoy these movies and the representation, the interpretation, and the craziness that it entails. It's moving towards a group of people saying there's an entity moving closer and closer from outer space. So space, spaceship, alien. There's some alien symbolism, which I thought was very cool. There's myths, there's theories on UFOs and, the whole allure and whole thought and patterns of, do they exist? Don't they exist? You never know what the government could have and be hiding behind closed doors from us as a society. So I've never personally experienced or seen an alien outside of an alien statue that I took its head off at Kennywood. That was it. Outside of that, surrounding the door, right? And watching as the creatures come near and looking out for their lives and, being aware and just making sure they're ready to step on something if they got to, basically. Interesting scene. Then a creature rises up out of the smoke, up and backed out of fear of what he saw, basically, which I thought was interesting. The awareness after you see a creature and the smartness of the character. He was smart when he moved away. That's what I like. I like characters who don't make things convoluted and do the right things and do smart things within the film. So, being that he backed up, he saved himself, That just saved his life by doing that. Instead of just standing there and waiting as the creature comes towards you to attack you, being dumb, you got out of the way. Self-awareness, aware of your surroundings. That's what that basically told me and represents, basically. Because a person who doesn't have self-awareness of their surrounding wouldn't have moved away that quick. He moved away very quickly, so he was self-aware that the creature was coming near him. So he thought to move. Very interesting. What are you going to talk about how they seen a body? They watched his body get eaten away, essentially in Quaker Mass in the film by a creature, which I thought was very sad, fucked up, but, such is life. This man in the next scene was holding something. I couldn't quite tell what he was holding in his hand, but he had something in his hand. Something like a lighthouse sort of thing, or whatever that was. Thought that was very intriguing, to say the least. Came riding in as a man's walking past. They ran and menace. I already knew what he was going to say, but there was nowhere to go. Watch. which was great. We had one scene where a man backed away. We had others who ran because, you know, they were terrified and fearful of the creature getting near to them and potentially hurting them in some sort of way, which I thought was kind of interesting. In the same token, a little bit convoluted to some degree. It is the little creatures in the inside. So there's creatures in the dorm and there's creatures on the inside. So it's kind of a difficult situation for these. A man said he's seen them, thousands of creatures that could expand into 100 feet. Which I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of feet. And essentially, to get away and escape out of range from the creatures, basically. So essentially, I'm assuming they were killing the creatures, basically shooting them off, which is amazing. Great. That's what you're supposed to do if you got creatures in your facility. You've got creatures coming your way. You kill them before they get to you, like any smart dude. Like in the last scene, when you know they're coming near you, or they're about to come near you, you get away before they get to you. Two scenes and two moments in the film where you're smart acting. The running away and all that is just, I get it, but it was a bit convoluted to me to some degree. Besides all that, I still think Quaker Mass 2 is just as good as the original movie. Absolutely. I won't change that opinion or thought at all. I very much think they're on par. You got a man running back and forth laps around like a coil type of thing. I'm like a cat and mouse game because he was trying to escape or get away from the creatures. I mean, now that I think about it, I guess that scene, the other scene, it's kind of smart in a way, but still in some way a bit convoluted and confusing. If their attempt is to try to escape, I'm saying if they're anywhere kind of close still, the creatures can come and get to them still, some way, somehow. That's my thing. That's what I'm trying to convey. Running away and trying to get away after they shot and killed the creatures so nobody could find them. It's smart. Essentially, they're going to put the guns away somewhere that they can't be seen or found. Obviously, that's my whole interpretation. My whole synopsis on that. I wasn't too familiar with the cast and characters from previous bodies of work, to be honest. I didn't know any films that they were in that I was familiar with. I can't really put them in the category of legends that I like as far as the horror genre goes, because I'd have to see a lot more of their works if I get a feel of a lot more of their works. And I don't know if they're consistently longevity is good as actors, basically, or actresses. That's how I go off my movies. my actors and my characters. But they were good in Quaker Mass 1 and they were good here, so just based off those two movies, I know they're pretty good. Because it's the same similar cast, so yeah. I already know off the strength of that they're good. But I'd have to see some more to know, like, if they're consistent and good and be able to put them in that crosshair of the Mount Rushmore of actors and actresses who are consistent in their movies and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. I can't really just gauge that off of two movies. It has to be a lot more. So I get a lot more of a feel of their vibe and their acting style, and who they've all worked with in the past, and I'll be able to gauge off that basically as an avid movie watcher, basically. So, sure, that's definitely something I look forward to. Being that I look into filmographies a lot to see if the actresses or actors had done any works I'm familiar with. I've done that for a while now with any actor or actress that I watch because I want to know if you were in stuff that I've seen or things that I'm familiar with. If not, then I'll check it out, see if it's good, give it a chance. Even if it's bad, I still watch it. Sometimes I don't do lives because it's so bad. Like, if it's so bad, I tell myself I can't even go live to recap it because it's so bad of a movie that I can't go live with it. So I don't go live. That's why I'm going live with Quaker Mass, because Quaker Mass is fantastic for the time period, the overall era, and the overall story. Just the overall chemistry. Just the overall feel and look. And it's a black and white movie, and I'm like real big on black and white movies, such as Swamp Thing, the original Dracula, the Wolfman, fucking the Vampire of Darkness with Christopher Lee, Charlie, and the Chocolate Factory, such as Mr. Chicken, such and such as, I'm trying to think, The Mask, such as The Man with the X-Ray Eyes. Damn, what was that movie from the 60s that I like a lot? I'm trying to think. I forget, but it's real good. Really, really good. I recommend you go watch it for sure. Really, really good. Swamp Lagoon, yeah. Swamp Lagoon is pretty good too. Like, I'm very history oriented, so that's why I like to go back and watch old horror movies. Another good one is Psycho and Suspiria. They know how to play with colors and emotion, like just the mind and psychology and stuff like that. I'm real into psychological horror too. Paranormal Activity. It's a little modern, but that one's one of those psychological movies that will really dig deep in your brain and really make you think. It's crazy movie. What else from the 60s? The Ghost Ship is another one that I love with Ray Millie. Although some of those cast members and characters I wasn't too familiar with either, but they were good, just like in this movie. If you're good and the supporting cast is good as well, I will watch it. But if it's like bad, it feels like the chemistry's off, I'm not gonna fuck with it. Plain and simple. You know, the chemistry has to be there. The story has to be something I like. The cinematography has to be good because I'm a high quality person. That's how I look at myself, high quality. You always want to go for high quality things, the finer things in life. I'm not materialistic, no, but I am high quality. Don't get materialistic and being high quality now messed up. That's two completely different things. When you're materialistic, you like material things a lot. I mean, I enjoy materialistic things, don't get me wrong, but that's not something I'm all about. High quality is when you like high quality things, like the best things possible. Whether it's the best headphones, whether it's the best looking female, whether it's the best movies, whether it's the best food. I'm a high quality individual. Whether it's the best shirts, whether it's the best music. I look at myself as a high quality man. How else am I supposed to, look at myself? Yeah. But yeah, Quaker Mass too. It still had Quaker Mass, obviously, the same actor. That was great. Just like in Subspecies, the original and the most recent movie I watched, it's stuck with the same cast. I used the right word, the right terminology, and chronology. But yeah, just like that movie, stuck with the same cast, but it's